Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Captain Shane Healy and I'm sitting here in our auditorium on Perry Street at our church, and it's a little bit echoey and a little bit empty at the moment, which is both good and bad because I kind of miss you, but it's also good because I know that you're out there living life and interacting with the world. On Sunday we spoke about from Luke 5, the story of the fisherman and this miraculous catch and how Simon Peter got his calling really about being a fisherman of men. And from that story we talked about how he was available and that he was faithful and that he was teachable as a disciple and that he was willing to take instructions from a minister or a rabbi about what it is to catch fish when he himself was a fisherman and caught nothing, which I think is actually quite huge for any fisherman who clearly hasn't caught any fish in a while to suddenly take instructions from somebody else. It's quite a big deal. But in verse 8 we see that a change takes place in him, and Simon Peter acknowledges his own sin that's within him, the things that are counter to what God would want in his life. And he humbles himself really in this moment. And from there, Jesus lifts him up and encourages him and says to him, mate, I've got such a bigger purpose, such a bigger catch in store for you if you just follow me. And so that's what he does. He goes off and he starts to follow Jesus. In fact, a group of the fishermen then, from that point on, they follow Christ. And I thought about fishing during this week again, and I thought, what does it mean to catch people? Jesus says he's going to make us into fishermen. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean to catch people for him? Well, firstly, a fisherman needs to go where fish are. There's no point fishing in a creek or a lake or a river or whatever with no fish in it. That's just pointless. And so you go where the fish are jumping. You go where the fish are interested in catching that fly, and you cast it out to them. And so you increase your chances. And so that's where you guys are now. That's why you're not here. You're out there with the world. You're interacting with it, but you're not of it. And that's the next point that I have really in this short little video, is that Simon Peter was encouraged to get out and to go into the world. And as he makes us fishermen of men, and as he makes us into this, we're to go into the world and to reflect him and to live differently. That's why one of the first sermons that Jesus speaks to his 12 disciples after he's appointed them is the Sermon on the Mount. He goes, you've seen life lived in this way. You've heard of this, but I'm going to teach you this. And there's this whole lot of, these counteractions, I guess, taking place in Jesus' sermons. And a sermon where he's saying, you live like this. But actually, I'll show you what to live like if you're going to follow me, if you're going to truly be salt and light. And so as you're out there in the world, I want to encourage you, to be fishermen of men, to live differently to the rest of the world. Be salt and light. Draw out the good that's in the world, the hope that's in the world, the stories of joy that is needed in this world. We must be people of peace and joy and love, and really spread that in this world. But that's only possible to where we come to in this chair, which I'm sitting in right now. We've had the 3 chairs, now we're on to the 4th chair of this discipleship journey. And this 4th chair is about abiding in him, and that's what Sarah's going to preach about this week. See, it's really hard to go into this world. We start to get drained when we're living like Christ, if we're only living that in our own strength. We come to church for an hour, we might read our Bibles once a day, and we'll listen to a little bit of worship music or whatever else during the day. And by the end of the week, we can start feeling a little bit flat. The world can sort of feel like it's beating up on us because it's living in such a counter way to what we want to be living. The media, the news, everything is all doom and gloom a lot of the times. Yeah, we're called to be people of love, joy and peace and patience and hope and all those good things. And the only way that we can do that is if we abide in him, which is what Sarah's preaching about here from John 15. this Sunday. And so I invite you, I challenge you. I challenge you this week as my first thing, is I want to think about who are you catching. Who are you catching and who are you inviting to come and see? To come and see what joy and love and peace is all about. And I hope we can be a reflection of that to some small degree on Sundays when we're interacting with each other and as we're worshipping our God. But if you're listening to this for the first time, I also want to invite you to come and sing. Don't wait for one of our people to come and tap you on the shoulder, although I hope that happens. I hope you've got a connection with one of us. But if you're hearing my voice for the first time and you're just tuning in, then I invite you to come on down to City Salvos at 277 Perry Street on Sunday morning. And we've got a prayer service at 9:30. We've got some takeaway coffee that we're allowed during COVID. We're right over the COVID restrictions. It's a safe place to be, cleaning and social distancing and COVID marshals and all the rest. And we have a good time of worship and fellowship together. And I know for the last 2 years that I've been a minister here, I've really enjoyed being a part of this family, this church family, and I really hope and I know that you will too. So I invite you to come and see and check out the claims of Christ for yourself. Make an informed decision, and hopefully you make the decision from that to follow him and start this discipleship journey for yourself. So thank you for listening. I look forward to Sunday as we abide in him. But remember, if you want to catch fish, if you want to catch people, you've got to go where they are, and you've got to live differently. You've got to live in an attractional way that's going to draw people to you and ask questions. And when they do, 3 little words: come and see. And you know where we are. God bless you each. Have a great week. I'll see you on Sunday.